Hi, my name is Judie VanKooiman, and you're watching Life Issues. This month's show is about three of my favorite nonprofits in Malden. Lisa from Mystic Valley Elder Services, Molly from Housing Families, and Patty from Bread of Life. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Lisa, I'm going to start with you. When was Mystic Valley Elder Services established?
It was actually established in 1975, and so in 2025 will be our 50th anniversary.
Wonderful. Yes. And what is the mission and values?
So Mystic Valley Elder Services is an aging service access point. We work in collaboration with the federal government and state to support people age in their homes or communities as well as possible. So we offer home care services, Meals on Wheels, transportation, a variety of services to help them age in place.
Yeah, great. And Lisa, can you please tell us the towns and cities you serve?
Well, we serve 11 cities and towns. We serve Chelsea, Everett, Malden, Medford, Melrose, North Reading, Reading, Revere, Stoneham, Wakefield, and Winthrop.
There's a lot of them.
I know, I have to make sure I don't forget anybody. So.
Yeah. Molly, when did Housing Families start?
Sure. So we were founded in 1986. So in 2026 will be our 40th anniversary. So really exciting. And we were actually founded by just a group of community members that were concerned about the growing crisis of homelessness. And now we're one of the largest shelter providers in Massachusetts.
Awesome. And what is the mission and values?
Sure. So our mission is to ensure housing stability for families, individuals, and communities. And our vision is a future of housing equity and well-being for all. So our values are very client-centered, compassionate, kind, and collaborative.
Okay, great. And besides Malden, what towns and cities does Housing Families serve?
Yeah, sure. So the communities where we have the largest presence is Malden, Medford, Chelsea, Revere, Saugus, and Woburn, but we also provide housing legal services to many areas across Massachusetts, north of Boston.
Okay, great. And Patty, when was Bread of Life established?
Bread of Life was founded in 1980. We've been around for a long time. It was founded by actually I'll back up a little bit. Church women had a community dinner and 4 people came in to this dinner and they were homeless. It was a church dinner for their congregation, but 4 people came in and they decided if they were homeless, if there are 4 people that came into our dinner tonight, that there must be plenty more that we could help serve. And that was the seed of the Bread of Life back in 1980.
Wow. All of your organizations have been around.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, a long time.
Collectively, that's a long time.
Exactly.
We also actually all work together as
Yeah.
nonprofits too.
Yes.
It's really
That
exciting.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, you're my 3 favorite in Malden because I affiliate. I mean, I do something for all of your organizations and stuff, and I wouldn't have it any other way and stuff. It's awesome and stuff. In 1975, it's a special year because that's the year I graduated from high school.
All right, Judy.
Yeah.
You have a reunion coming up next year then.
Yeah,
A
50th,
big
I guess one. Yeah, that's true.
Just want to remind you of
You're
celebrate
you'll be
together.
45th. You'll be 45th then.
1980 for
Right.
me.
Well, no, for Bread of Life. No, for
well,
Bread of
same
Life.
year. Yes, I graduated
wow.
the year that
Yeah.
Housing Families, excuse me,
yeah.
Bread of Life was founded. There's so much overlap with all of us. Yes, yes.
That's great. And what is the mission and values of Bread of Life?
Bread of Life, we feed hungry people is our main mission. And we strive to serve families from childhood through elderly, and we provide multiple programs to do that. And we serve over 1 million meals per year through our programs that we have, various programs.
Okay, great. And earlier this year, Bread of Life received a new home. Please tell us more.
We have a new home. So since 1980, Bread of Life has really moved all around. We've had to rent space for our offices, rent space for where we serve our meals, and a capital campaign was launched, I want to say around 2014. They started thinking about building a new building. And finally, 10 years later, on August 11th, we had our grand opening at 54 Eastern Ave in Malden, which is where we were for quite some time in an old building that we demolished, and then we built a new space. So we've been in now for a couple of months.
And
So
if
exciting.
I say so myself,
Yeah,
it's
that's
wonderful.
Thank you, and anyone's welcome to come see it anytime.
Yeah.
That's great.
And you want to share what's on the very top floor?
We have 14 units of affordable housing above the food pantry. So Bread of Life has a food pantry in the building, and then above us is 14 units of affordable housing for previously homeless people. And this is where we collaborate, Housing Families and Bread of Life. We actually have a staff person from Housing Families in our new building and office space with us. And it's managed by a separate entity altogether, and we like to think of it as a condo unit. We're downstairs and they're upstairs. Yes.
Okay, that's great. They must be so thrilled to have their own places to live.
It is, and having the housing upstairs too, there were 300 applications, I
Wow.
believe, for 14 units of housing, and they are now all filled. And it's great to see that collaboration with people.
And having a centralized place where people can receive services and it's where
Yep.
their home is such a wonderful
Yes,
model. It's
it
so
is.
exciting to see.
Right, right. And Lisa, can you please tell us about Area Agency on Aging is?
Yeah, so that's actually a federal designation. That's what Mystic Valley is also an area agency on aging. So it means we get federal money to run a number of programs, such as the Meals on Wheels program that we offer for people who are homebound and they need services at home. We can provide that through that program. We also have a respite caregiver program. We just had a very big gala a couple months ago where we honored caregivers, and we give stipends to family members, so you can get a little bit of payment so that you can either pay someone to come in and watch your loved ones. You can go shopping or go to a doctor's appointment, get your hair done. So we do a lot with the federal money that way.
Okay. And can you please tell us what other programs and services you provide?
Sure. So we also offer protective services. So if people happen to unfortunately be, subject to abuse or neglect, we are the agency for the area that you would call, and we investigate complaints and try to help people. I mentioned we do home care services, so if you need someone to help clean your house or to bathe you, dress you, we can provide that service. We also give grants with a number of partners, including Housing Family, Bread of Life, where we try to support local nonprofits to do their work better, so we can do that as well. And then we do transportation services, which is great too. If people need a ride to a doctor's appointment or to a social event, we can help with that. So lots of different services for people that are over the age of 60, but we also serve people under the age of 60 that are on Mass Health as well.
Okay, great. And what if someone would like to volunteer?
Oh, we have lots of volunteer programs. We have a Shine program, which is actually a Medicare service that when someone's choosing their Medicare service, their program for Medicare when they turn 60, the Shine volunteers help them navigate their healthcare options and what's the best option for them. We have a money management program. If someone's older and has trouble paying their bills, we can assign a volunteer to work with them to do that. We do have volunteers that actually help with our Bread of Life drops. So we work with Bread of Life to deliver produce to residents in our housing sites, and we have volunteers that help with that, dropping the meals, the food off. So we have a social engagement program where volunteers can help write letters or call seniors that are homebound and don't have connections. So lots of different options for volunteering.
That sounds good. I didn't know that, Lisa. That sounds good.
Yeah.
I'd like to participate.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, learn
Yeah.
something new. Yeah, great. And Molly, what are the programs and services for Housing Families?
Sure, yeah. So we have sort of two primary branches of the services that we offer. In our housing programs, we have emergency shelter, so that is primarily for families. So we partner with the state of Massachusetts to place families into emergency shelter. And then in addition to that, we have an individual shelter in Malden for adults, and that was the first of its kind in the area, and that opened in 2021. And so to complement those housing programs, we also have our homelessness prevention program. So we have housing attorneys, paralegals, and a whole team of people that will work with folks to represent them in court, housing court. They might also offer them, rental assistance, or really just kind of navigate any challenges that they're having to have that housing be secure and stable for them. So that's where our team can help step in. And this year we prevented close to 1,000 evictions in that program. Yeah, so that was really, exciting to be able to do that, because we really want to prevent people from experiencing that trauma of homelessness, and if we can help support them in keeping stable in their homes. Yeah. And we actually, so in addition to our housing programs, we also have a whole suite of wellness programs that complement our housing programs. So we have clinical mental health care for both children and adults. We also have an after-school program which provides education, enrichment, and therapeutic services for kids anywhere from young kids all the way up until 18. And that's a really special program where we can just see the journeys that children take along those programs, and how special the relationships they build in that after school. It's not really just an after school program. We look at it as a home away from home when they're there. And then our last component is we also support food access. So we partner with amazing organizations like Bread of Life to provide hot meals, for example, for individual shelter. We also have if someone maybe comes in, they need housing support in the interim, hey, do you need groceries? Could we get you a gift card? Something like that. So that we're really helping people kind of at all levels of, their housing stability experience.
Okay. And can you please tell us about your shelters?
Yeah, absolutely. So our emergency shelter, we serve hundreds of families through the emergency shelter. So we have ones that it looks a little bit more like an apartment where someone might stay there until they can find that permanent housing. And then also in response to the very large need for shelter this past year, we opened up a lot of hotel shelters across the state. So those are temporary emergency shelters, but it's not like a congregate setting where you might go in and out for the day. Like once someone is sort of situated in shelter, and they'll work with our team for kind of really as long as it takes to make sure that they can find a stable home. And then for our individual shelter, it operates similarly. We just don't partner with the state to place those folks. That one, we have a waiting list, and often there are hundreds of people on that waiting list, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know there's the statistics on homelessness is very high. I saw it when I was doing some research, and it's just
Just today at Mystic Valley, we had 2 people come in who needed support. They were, unhoused, and we were trying to help them. And we do partner closely with housing families to try to help some people. But it's so sad to see that. It's so common in the winter, especially.
That's. And I think my next question is about the winter overnight warming centers.
So we operate warming centers in Somerville and in Revere, and so the idea is similar. Warming centers are a little different than a shelter, where they might not have beds, but it's a place where folks can go warm up, get food. Our team is there. All of our team members are just really compassionate, wonderful people, and so even just having someone to sit with and build a relationship with, but also we can then hopefully help them access additional services, or even just meet their immediate needs, right? So like a winter accessory or a coat or what have you. And so we have seen, obviously, like we were talking about, the need for housing grow. And so in addition to our shelter and warming center, we have an advocacy team now that works, to follow along with different policy that might affect housing and try to advocate for stuff that would really help our community in terms of the housing crisis.
And also there's a warming center in Malden.
Yes, we don't operate that one, but we do partner closely with them. So they actually just had an extra stock of blankets that the other day they brought over to us for our warming center, because they had so many. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think as these ladies demonstrate, this community is really special. Like we all work together.
That's great.
Yeah, that's so important. And now, of course, with winter and everything, I mean, I can't imagine being homeless and out there in the streets and stuff. Just that's bad. So, Patty, what are the programs and services that Bread of Life provide?
We operate a food pantry out of our Malden-based building that we just spoke about, and that is available on Wednesdays and Fridays. Then we have a mobile market that we operate out of Everett. We package everything up at our Malden facility and bring it over to the Lafayette School in Everett on Thursdays, so it's a mobile food pantry for Everett residents. The Malden Food Pantry is open to people from 13 communities. Then we also offer a free community evening dinner, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, open to all. Come in, have a nice warm or maybe a sandwich type dinner, depends on what's on the menu that night. Then we have a delivery service program where we deliver to seniors. We collaborate with Mystic Valley Elder Services for that. We package and distribute about 300 boxes average per week to senior citizens that get a delivery of groceries. And we also operate what we call our backpack nutrition program, where we distribute backpacks filled with nutritious food, primarily for Everett students right now. We're hoping to expand that program at some point. And we also collaborate with families that are in motels. We work with housing families and serve food to families and now individuals living in motels. Those are our basic programs that we operate.
Okay, great. And can people volunteer with Bread of Life?
Absolutely. So we talked about the delivery program. Lisa mentioned those are boxes that are delivered, and we rely. Bread of Life has a staff of 18 people. 3 people are full-time, the rest are part-time. And what we do totally relies on volunteers. So we need people to come in and welcome people to come in and help deliver boxes to seniors, help with the motel program, assemble those boxes of groceries that will go to the motels. All of that requires that people come into the Bread of Life and package up everything and get it out the door to people who need it. Same with the backpack program. So there are multiple ways, evening meals, if you like to cook, come on in. We love to have, we have a beautiful kitchen now that people can cook in, or if you, we actually have people that order takeout for our families as well. There are so many ways to volunteer, and if you go on the Bread of Life website, we have a special page dedicated just for volunteerism. So we welcome students, families, businesses. We have a lot of companies come in and do team bonding. For the first time, they're meeting each other, and they're working over getting food out the door for people. So multiple ways.
Awesome.
I love that.
Yeah. And does Bread of Life do any fundraisers?
We do. We do a lot of fundraisers. We were talking earlier about one of our signature events that we had before COVID was called Just Desserts, and we're now bringing that back in this year, probably in April. But our signature event for fundraising is our walk. We do an annual walk every October, and that walk has been in existence since 1993, and this year it's October 4th. And then throughout the year we do other fundraisers as well. We're always thinking of some creative ideas for fundraising.
All right. And Lisa, does Mystic Valley Elder Services do any fundraisers?
Well, yes, and Judie has been very helpful on our development committee, helping
Oh,
us
you're
develop
lucky
it.
to
Yeah,
have.
I know.
I didn't know you were on the development
No, she
committee.
is.
Good, Judy.
So anyway, we do, this fall, we did a harvest festival. We did it's a comedy night. We did it at the Irish American Club in Malden to try to raise money for our Meals on Wheels program. And then in the spring, every year we partner with the Greater Boston Theaters Company in Stoneham to do a theater night. So those are our big usual ones. But like I said, next year is our 50th anniversary. So we may be doing some other events around that to kind of fundraise and also support our local COAs. We partner with all the cities and towns and really just highlight the partnership. Partnership is really important, as you can see by this conversation. So really highlighting our partnership with the local cities as well.
So each COA will have a special
Yes, we're going to
event.
have an event for every COA. That's like we're going to sponsor the event at the COA so that they can kind of do whatever they'd like to do to celebrate our partnership.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, 50 years. Wow.
Yeah.
And Laura, does Housing Families do any fundraisers?
We certainly do. So we have two of our signature events are our fun run in the fall. So that's typically held in November during Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. We actually do it at the River's Edge Park based in Medford. So it's really lovely. It's a casual walk run. But it's a lot of fun, and we have a celebration there. We also do our legislative breakfast, which is in the spring, and so that's less of a traditional fundraiser. It's absolutely open to sponsorships and things like that. That's really a community event where we get folks inside, legislators, all sorts of different people to talk about the state of homelessness. And then throughout the year, our Young Professionals Committee will host different fundraisers. Last spring, they did an auction, which was really cool. We've also do other one-off events, so we've partnered with Bread of Life, actually, to host a benefit concert. That was really exciting. So there's lots of different ways to get involved. And then twice a year we hold 2 very large drives. So we have our backpack drive, which happens in the summertime, where we do over this year was over 800 backpacks filled with school supplies. So you can also come and help volunteer or donate supplies. And then right now, actually, we're fully in the midst of our holiday drive. So we get, not hundreds, I think it's probably now in the thousands of toys and gift cards for all the kids in our programs, so that they can have something special for the holidays. And parents and caregivers will actually come. We set up our back room as if it's a shopping boutique, and so they can actually come and pick out something that they know that their child will actually really enjoy.
I saw pictures and I go, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a really special thing that we're totally able to do that from donations. I mean, the outpouring of support from the community is outstanding. So
Okay, great. And I know you all accept monetary donations, but do you also accept other items? And can you please tell us what you do, Lisa?
We have an emergency closet where we accept, similar to, I'm sure you guys would, blankets, toiletries for people that we serve. We just actually partnered with Ajero, which is a company that's actually at the River's Edge location, and they are buying gifts for seniors. And so we ask our care managers to, recognize people that they serve that may not have anyone that comes to see them, and they will buy gifts, and Ajero wraps them, and then we pick them up, deliver them, and they're on the holiday time for people. So, but no, we will take really anything at this point. I mean, we definitely need the supplies for people that, bed sheets are always very helpful. Things you and I would take for granted that for people who are on a fixed income is just really important. So,
especially when it comes to the end of the month. And,
Yep.
Yeah. And do you do anything for pets? People that
We do. We have a pet fund where we take donations, and then we can offer support to people if they have like a pet cost. It's a limited amount, but we do provide resources to families, because we do know, especially some of the older adults, their pet is that so important to them. So, to get the pet food or, some of those things that cost a little bit more, it's important. So we try to support them.
yeah.
And Patty, housing families, what about, do you accept any?
I will defer to Molly for the housing families questions. I could answer them, I think, but
All right, Molly, do you have any?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like for the drives I just mentioned, high quality backpacks and school supplies in the summertime, gifts during the holidays, and then throughout the year we always accept things like diapers, hygiene and personal care items. They just have to be unopened, and we can new clothing and new bedding and things. It does have to be new, unfortunately. But those are some of the biggest items. So again, things that someone might need around the household or to support their family throughout the month.
Okay, great. And Patty, does Bread of Life?
always need food items. Non-perishable food items are always appreciated. We have people who host drives for us. They get very creative with their drive. Some companies will host a drive and only collect one item, for example, jelly jars, because we get a lot of peanut butter donated, but we very rarely have jelly to go with it.
Interesting.
So food drives are always welcome, and occasionally throughout the year we'll do one-offs for other donations. Now that it's colder weather, we'll be looking for warm socks, and we actually have been working and collaborating with Mr. Valley
I know
Elder Services
know
on their
exactly.
socks. With their,
Hopefully, Bombas, we do.
Yeah.
the
Oh, it's
Bomba
wonderful.
socks, and we
Yeah.
give those to
It's
the other
wonderful.
Putting Mystic Valley
Yes.
stickers on the back.
Yeah,
I know.
it's great. So
Yeah.
socks, sometimes we may need scarves and hats and things like that, but primarily food donations, and it's always updated on our website what the current needs are for
Okay.
food.
And I have to tell you, one of our donors told me recently that they were invited to help with doing the socks with y'all. So again, I just think like the examples of
Yeah.
the ways that like
it's so great.
I think people that are likely to support one of us are also likely to support the rest of us, and it's really beautiful.
Right. I think Malden, we're fortunate. Malden's such a loving community. I feel like the
It is.
community itself and just the general area, like we do kind of all work together, which is so helpful. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's all the time that we have. Thank you all for helping those in need. I'd love to hear your thoughts and suggestions. Please send them to lifeissues@gmail.com. And remember, live each day to the fullest and celebrate life. Hi, my name is Judie VanKooiman. I'm the founder and president of Those Who Can for Those in Need.
And I'm Sebastian Lemieux. I'm the treasurer.
We connect people and resources from the greater Boston and North Shore area.
We help provide help with elderly, losing a loved one, children, low income, homelessness, mental illness, disease and health issues, substance abuse, domestic violence, LGBTQ, and veterans.
We are Winthrop-based, but like we mentioned earlier, we cover a large area.
Our website is twctin.org, and on there you can find the various resources from the organizations that are with us, past episodes of Life Issues, which is a resource show, and our newsletters.
We hold 2 major events every year. We have our annual comedy show fundraiser in the spring, and early September we have our annual Family Resource Fair. For both events, please check out our website and social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram.
During our resource fair, our visitors will be able to visit the resource tables, there's food, and also various family activities.
To end, I started Those Who Can for Those in Need in memory of my husband, who passed away in 2007 of cancer. You can go on our website to learn more, twctin.org.
Thank you.